Hello, I am Jan from Prague, the Czech Republic, and in this video let's explore what to expect from taking photos with the Google Pixel 9 Pro XL. We'll take a quick look together at about 200 test photos taken during the beautiful autumn here in Prague. We'll analyze why photographers really love this mobile phone, but also why it is definitely not suitable for everyone. What you will see in this video. First, we will summarize the main technical specifications of this mobile phone and what lenses, sensors, functions and key settings it has. And then we'll dive into the 200 photos from different places and situations to see what the Google Pixel 9 Pro XL can offer. I suggest we start here in this beautiful park in Prague with the summary of the lenses and sensors. So obviously the most important lens and sensor would be the main one. It has 50 megapixels and 24 millimeters. It can serve for photos like that or even some zoom photos because, as you can see, anything which is up to 5 is actually done by the main sensor, main lens. So you should know that you're sort of cropping the information from the sensor, but still the quality is amazing. I really loved using it for 24 millimeters, but sometimes the details are great as well. And some shots from countryside and obviously one of my favorite views in Prague. A night mode is really amazing. Just look at these photos. That is the main sensor and the musicians are moving and it is a still perfect photo. So we'll get to it later, but I think it's worth mentioning. Then we have the second lens, second sensor. It obviously serves as a great tool for zooming towards animals or just creating shots like that. I really loved it, but it's probably worth saying that the physical size of it is smaller than in the case of the main sensor. So the quality would not be that exciting, but it's still amazing. And once again, examples of the night mode, which I mentioned, is really good. Please do not forget, then we have the third lens, third sensor, the ultra wide one, and it's great tool for capturing scenes like that, or even doing some bit weird shots of animals like I just did with that peacock. And it's useful in the night, of course. The ultra wide also serves as a tool for macro photography. So yes, sometimes it's really interesting to do shots like that. I mentioned zooming, so I suggest we can now test the zooming of this mobile phone. So we already know we can go from 0.5 up to 5. So it's here, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you want to go further, you can go up to 10, 20 or even 30, as you can see here from that recording. So we can go from ultra wide to 1, 2, 5, 10, 20 and even 30. The quality goes down rapidly, but still it does indeed make sense. Now let me turn your attention to one of the greatest features of this mobile phone, which is the option to turn on 15 megapixels resolution. Normally, of course, you'll be shooting to 12 megapixels, which seems to be alright for the most of the situations, but once you try to turn on the full resolution, then what happens is that you just won't be willing to go back because the difference is really visible. Quality is just amazing, and once you start using it, it's extremely hard to go back. But it's extremely slow when you really use 50 megapixels. You can see the example here. I'm just trying to take shots of these peacocks, but sometimes the mobile phone needs maybe even 1 second. You just press the shutter button and nothing happens. You can see the gray dots here. It means that I was trying to hit the shutter button, but nothing was happening. Of course, you can argue that you don't need it, that 12 is enough, but wait a minute. Google gives you amazing quality of shots, but it's very hard to use it. And now I suggest to turn our attention to something which is much more positive, and it's the night mode. And it's really excellent here. Of course, every single mobile on the market has its own night mode, but it's really great here. You can see some results from it. Prague Castle and Vltava River, and that is one of my favorite views of Prague, by the way. And again, you can see that the results are really amazing. I can assure you that that collection would be one of the best I did here over the last months. Same here. You have already seen a couple of these shots. This is a concert in the streets of Prague. The musicians are moving very quickly on the stage, but still the camera is able to get extremely good footage. Yes, indeed, you can see some artifacts here, but this is deep night, it's movement there. So I have to say that would be, for me, one of the really amazing features of this mobile phone. Of course, there are many settings in the menu, but there is one I would like to point out. And typically I do not like filters, but in that case, I have to admit, there are some filters which really do work great. Like this one, for instance, it's dynamic, so I can take this shot and by one click, I am able to make the shadows brighter and the green is nicer. Or here, that is the original photo and that one is the one which was edited by that one little click to the filter. And why don't we just start here our trip through more and more photos, and all these shots are unedited. So all these shots are JPEGs directly from the mobile phone, so you can make your own observations about the quality and colors. And well, again, I have to say, this is really something I like, and you will not be disappointed because the results are really great. I mentioned that Pixels are known for having its own way of doing things. And one of the examples is the portrait mode. The truth is that the portrait mode of that Pixel is not exciting. It's rather average when you compare it to, well, what you are used to from iPhones or Samsungs. I don't think it's a big deal, but what I think is important is to mention it, because for ordinary users who just want to have a nice family shots, that is, I believe, one of the limitations. Of course, you are right that photographers would stick to the natural things. It means to the zooms and lenses. And here are examples of what I call testing peacocks, a group of peacocks living in the downtown Prague. And I love to use them for testing. So you can see some examples here. And it does indeed looks great. And just don't have to be shy to use the telephoto lens. Or for me, I love wide lenses. Or you can even like the ultra wide views of peacocks and sun and the garden here in downtown Prague. And again, one of my favorite testing places here in Prague, where I typically take cameras or mobile phones just to see what to expect, because the light is really tough. And once again, you can see that you probably love the results because the camera does a great job. Charles Bridge, this time without sunshine, so we can live with this. And a couple of examples of details. You already know that Pixel has its own macro option, which can give you often quite interesting results like here. And if you want to drink coffee, it's a good excuse to have a coffee and take some shots like that, again with the macro lens. And finally, I suggest we go outside and do a couple of more shots and more colors of autumn here in the Czech Republic. One cat and some more leaves and beautiful light in forests which are just prepared for winter, and some more exciting shots and very, very tough light. And final stop, final option to see what to expect from Google Pixel 9 Pro XL in a situation like that. You can see that the sun is setting, the colors are really interesting, very decent, and here are the results. I think it's quite impressive. And finally, a couple of examples of video footage. As always, I'm a bit shy to make any really deep analytical discussions about the quality of video because I'm just not good at it at all. So the best thing I can do is to show you a couple of examples. From these examples, you should be able to see if you like it or not. Of course, for me, again, the results fit into general feeling that it's a really one of the best mobile phones on the market at the moment. So thank you so much for your attention. I hope I gave you some inspiration. Take care. I am Jan from Prague, the Czech Republic.